Hello everyone, welcome to the sixth session of phrasal verbs. The verbs that we are going to cover today are carry and dry. Here's a little bit about me. Please rate, review, subscribe and recommend the course. Also please leave your suggestions and comments below. So our first verb is carry. Carried away. Get so emotional that you lose control. The team got carried away when they won the championship and started shouting and throwing things around. So carried away obviously becomes you get carried away when you watch a very good movie, right? Carried away by the thoughts. Probably if it's an inspirational movie, you start feeling like यार अब मुझे भी athlete तो बनना ही है. So you get carried away by that emotion. You get very emotional. You lose control, right? 4 दिन 5 दिन भागे, cramps आ गए. Oh shit, I don't want to do it, right? So in this example, like the team got carried away when they won the championship. They got carried away by that success, and because of that they started shouting and throwing things around. The next one is carry forward. Carry forward means to include a figure in a later calculation. हम carry forward करते थे बचपन में, right? 2 digit and 2 digit का addition में we used to carry forward the extra, I think. हाँ. So they carry forward their losses to the next financial, and I gave a very lame example, by the way, I'm sorry, but you got the point, right? So they carried forward their losses to the next financial year, as in they included a figure. उन्होंने include कर लिया कि okay, this was the loss and we've carried forward to the next year. ठीक है? So that has to just do something to get over those losses. And the next meaning is make something progress. They hope the new management will be able to carry the project forward, right? Businessmen have these always have these apprehensions whether their children are going to carry forward their business and take it to new levels or not, or even just going to retain the level that they are at or not, right? So carry forward means to make something progress. They hope that the management will be able to carry the project forward. Okay, next we have carry off. Carry off has two meanings. The first one is win, succeed. She carried off the first prize in the competitions. She won the first prize. She carried off, right? Carried off means winning or succeeding. The next one is die of a disease. Cancer carried him off a couple of years ago, right? So that means he died of cancer. So carried off means die of a disease or win, yeah, succeed. Next we have carry on. I think carry on is used by a lot of people, right? The first meaning of carry on is continue. Carry on quietly with your work until the substitute teacher arrives, right? So carry on means just carry on with your work. Just continue doing whatever you're doing till the time somebody else comes, so that you can eat their head, not the other person's head, right? So carry on quietly with your work. Next is behave badly. The children annoyed me by carrying on all morning. Carrying on, children behave badly, children and carrying on, very easily relatable, right? So that means behave badly means the children annoyed me by carrying on all morning. That means by behaving badly all to the morning. Next is carry on with. Carry on with means to have an affair. He's been carrying out with someone at work for years, right? आप इतने अकेले होते हो in the workplace, you find someone and then you're like, oh, she might be the one for me, and then you just have an affair and probably you just carry on with it. If things work fine, you end up in a marriage. So carry on with is have an affair. He's been carrying on with someone at work for years. Next is carry out. Carry out has two meanings. The first one is to perform a task. The government is carrying out the test on growing genetically modified crops, right? So they are performing a task on genetically modifying genetically modified crops. So they're just performing it. They're carrying out the various experiments are being carried out for various kind of drugs that we have, right? So that's carrying out. Second one is food bought at a restaurant to take away, right? So I am too tired to cook. Let's go to get a carry out, and I think this is there at McDonald's and all also. That's drive through although, but I think the concept is pretty much the same. You just carry out food. You just take food from a restaurant. I mean, it's a takeaway, so that you take it back home. Next is carry over. Carry over means to continue past a certain point. The meeting carried over in the afternoon because there was so much to talk about. Into the afternoon, right? This happens in a meeting. At times we digress a lot from our main agenda, that the meetings get carried over for a longer time, for a longer period. So that means they continue past a certain point. Say the timing that we had set was say 10 to 12, but it might just extend to 2 also. So that's a carryover. Next is carry through. Carry through means to complete successfully. They carried the reforms through despite the opposition, right? So they carried the reforms through, that is, they successfully completed it. They completed the reform successfully despite all the oppositions. Or demonetization has been carried out successfully despite all the chaos that had been caused by the opposition parties, right? So it has been completed successfully. Okay, the next one that we have is dry. So the first phrasal verb for this is dry off. Dry off means to dry something quickly or dry the surface. I had a shower and dried myself off. Right? So when you dry yourself off, you dry yourself quickly. So when you're drying off, that means you're drying something. Dry the surface after a bath, you'll obviously do that. So that's dry off. Next is dry out. Dry out, stop drinking or taking drugs when addicted. The first meaning is stop drinking or taking drugs when addicted. He checked into a clinic to dry out after being arrested for drunken driving, right? Once you're arrested for drunken driving, what will you do? You try to stop it. So you're trying to stop the drugs or drinking that you're addicted to, right? So that is drying out. Something is dry something fully. They dried the fruit out in the sun. Usually to make achar and all, people do it, no, in the on the streets. These fruits are kept and they are completely dried out in the sun till the time they're completely dry and they can be used. So that's dry out. Okay, next is dry up. Dry up has 4 different meanings. The first one is lose all the water from a lake, river or source. This is something we've learned in geography all our lives. I mean till 10th standard, I think. The lake dried up because of the water extraction from the cotton farming, right? So the lake dried up. It lost all its water. The next meaning is stop being supplied with something. His income dried up when cheaper options became available, right? So when cheaper options were available, his income dried up. Income khatam ho gayi. It was stop being supplied, right? The third one is be unable to speak. She dried up in the press conference. Ho jate na, some people have the stage fear, stage fright. So they dry up. They are unable to speak. And the fourth one is obviously dry plate, fishes, cutlery after washing them up. I washed the plates and dried them up. So that is simple. That is to dry the plates and all. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks a lot.